reporting for NEWSRAEL and NEWSRAEL viewers. I'm Dr. Anthony Harper here, blessed to be at the NRB convention in Nashville, Tennessee. Very special event this morning was about combating anti-Semitism at a breakfast to honor Israel hosted by the International Christian Embassy of Jerusalem and NRB at a very special event. But E.J. Kimball joins me to talk about this, and I'm reporting for NEWSRAEL and NEWSRAEL viewers about these really important issues. And E.J., thank you for joining me. And so about evangelicals and Israel, there's a special relationship, the bond, and regard about fighting or combating anti-Semitism. Why is that so important as far as evangelicals and working on these matters?
Sure. Well, the issue of anti-Semitism is not one that can only be a Jewish problem. We've seen historically that when society engages in anti-Semitic activity, those societies begin to crumble. This is a scourge that affects all of humanity. And so to build a broad-based coalition that is aware and recognizes the challenge that the world faces from anti-Semitism and ready to fight back against it, to combat it and eliminate anti-Semitism is essential to success. Evangelical support of Israel, the Jewish people, the right to self-determination in a Jewish state is a great step forward in combating anti-Semitism. It is building a broad base of support that tells the world this isn't just a Jewish issue. This is an issue that we all care about, that we all want to see end, so that the world can live in peace and harmony.
I mentioned about NEWSRAEL, that's what I'm reporting for, and other Intermountain Christian News, but I know that they're really trying really hard to, the evangelicals to know they have this voice, they can make a difference in support of Israel, getting the truth out. And me being in the media a lot, I see a lot of disinformation or whatever, at least that's putting it mildly. But regarding anti-Semitism, we see that it was mentioned in this event this morning about it's prevalent in the media. You mentioned BDS, and then there was the UNRWA issue, which you're probably aware as well, UNH, inciting people to violence or indoctrination. And it comes in many forms, doesn't it?
Well, the issue of anti-Semitism, most people understand sort of the violent anti-Semitism. A Jew who's walking on the street and is beaten because they're a Jew. That people get. They understand that. Now, there's still people who think it's okay, which is a problem. But most people, when they see it, they say that is wrong. But what a lot of people aren't understanding or aren't even aware of is the indoctrination to anti-Semitism that hides behind the guise of anti-Zionism, saying I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm not anti-Jewish, I'm anti-Zionist. I'm against the state of Israel. Because of their policies, their practices. But when you dive deeper into what exactly they are against, it's not a specific policy of the state of Israel, it's the existence of the Jewish state of Israel. They seek to deny the Jewish people the right to a homeland, to hold Israel to a higher standard than any other country. And if you're singling out the sole Jewish state to a double standard that no one else is held to, that is nothing less than anti-Semitism.
President Trump recently signed a bill, about the universities that are promoting, giving ground for fueling anti-Semitism, about funding being cut off to those schools. That was a really big event for President Trump to sign that bill on fighting anti-Semitism on the college campus. And so how much do you know about on the university campus with the school?
Yes, well, on the university campuses, you're having this indoctrination coming in from the left. The BDS movement, the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, which again tries to hide behind the guise that they're trying to protect Palestinians. It's critical of Israeli policies towards the Palestinians, but that's not the goal of the BDS movement. They've actually been explicit, the leadership, which their goal is the elimination of the Jewish state. The Palestinians they use that as a means to make inroads on the left in the United States, so that you've got a generation of students who don't really understand what they're being fed, but they take it in, they believe it, they become advocates for something, not even realizing how they're being used. President Trump's done a great job in leading this fight on anti-Semitism. his executive order, which expanded upon some work that President Bush and President Obama did, which says that if there's an attack against a Jewish student because the person thinks that they're attacking them because of Israel, they think that they're Israeli even though they're not, that is discrimination based on national origin, which is a protected class under Title VI. And if college campuses are not protecting against that, then they should be losing their federal funding.
Well, for more information, how can people learn more about in the effort that you're involved?
Sure.
How they can join? In
Sure,
this effort?
they can go to our website, combatantisemitism.org, sign the pledge, become partners with us, and pledge to end this scourge of anti-Semitism.
I'm just also curious about how you got involved with this. How you were called into combating anti-Semitism. What triggered your interest in this area?
Well, this is a problem in the world. I see this. I live in Washington, D.C. I see this happening in Washington. I see it around the world. If you just go on, news sites and you search a little bit, you just see example after example after example. And it's a growing problem that everyone needs to recognize. It's not a right-wing issue. It's not a left-wing issue. This is everyone. There's problems all across the spectrum, and it can't be pigeonholed into one group. This isn't something that should be used for political purposes. This is a problem that the United States needs to deal with, and the entire world does, and it's a passion.
Very serious problem. So I thank you for joining me, EJ.
Thank
and
you.
It's great to be here at the NRB convention, making a difference.
Right.
Thank you.